And this is part 2 of applications. That other video was getting kind of long, so I had to cut it. So you're going to be asked, polynomial expression is shown below, and it's going to give you a polynomial expression, but there's going to be one or 2 different terms, maybe more, that have an extra variable. In this case, it's a q.
Mommy.
So you got to eat all your food. So the expression is simplified to this. What is q? So you have to simplify all of this and figure out what q is to make all of this turn into this. So, oh, sorry. So basically what you have to do is you got to multiply and add and subtract with the q there. So it starts out pretty simple. You keep this 7x to the 4th minus 4x to the 2nd. Over here, though, you have x squared times qx squared. Kind of think about q as being a different number. So if q was a 2, you would put the 2 first. So we'll put the q first. So q x to the 2nd, x to the 2nd is x to the 4th. Okay? Then you have x to the 2nd times 6. That's easy. That's just plus 6x to the 2nd. Here's where it's a little bit more difficult again. We have negative 6 times qx to the 2nd. Well, a positive and a negative is a negative. All you're doing here, since they're all different, you're just writing them all next to each other. 6qx to the 2nd. And then finally you have negative 6 times positive 6, which will give us a negative 36. So somehow we got from this to this. That's the only change that we made so far. Now I'm going to put them in descending order according to the x. So we have this 7x to the 4th power. Since the plus, I don't have to change anything with the signs. Plus qx to the 4th. I can't combine them because I don't know what q is, okay? And then no x to the 3rds. I have this negative 4x to the 2nd plus 6x to the 2nd. They are like terms.
I need paper.
Can you get her paper? Minus 6qx to the 2nd.
I need this one.
They're all my x to the 2nd.
You and I right.
And then just minus 36. That's the only number that we didn't use yet, right? Used. Yep. Okay. So somehow we have to make this mess look like this. So I'm just going to combine my like terms. I have 7x to the 4th plus qx to the 4th. And then negative 4 plus 6. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. This is me, obviously. Thank you so much. You're such an artist. What's on your face? Thank you. Wow.
That's you.
Thank you. I love it. It looks just like me. This is 2x to the 2nd.
That's me, Mommy.
That you? It does look like you. Good job. And
Right,
minus
Daddy.
6qx to the 2nd.
Mommy, I'm right, Daddy.
Okay.
Daddy goes.
So we need to see what number we substitute in for q to make it look like this. 44x
4,
to the 2nd
5.
minus 36. So here's your minus 36.
4.
So somehow we have to get a number in for q that makes the x to the 4ths go away and turns this into 44. So the easier one of these, because there's already numbers out there, is to figure out what makes 7x to the 4th, what we could add to 7x to the 4th to make the x to the 4th go away. Well, if I have a positive 7x to the 4th, and then subtract 7x to the 4th, that would make the x to the 4ths go away. So I'm going to say that q is negative 7. Okay, let's try it out. So if I substitute it in here, I would have 7x to the 4th minus 7x to the 4th plus 2x squared minus 6 times negative 7 x to the second minus 36. I don't need that 36. So 7 minus 7, they cancel out. I have 2x squared. Negative 6 times negative 7 is positive 42. And minus 36. 2 plus 42, 44. X to the second minus 36. So negative 7 works. Here's another problem. They could look a lot different. So you're given this as your polynomial. Oh, sorry. And you want it to look like this. You have to figure out what R is. So here's the R. So we have to FOIL here, distribute there. You okay? So here we go. So Rx times 8x squared. I put my numbers first. So we have 8, then R, then x. X times x squared is x to the 3rd. And you have Rx times negative 64, which is negative 64 Rx. Done with Rx. Now you're on to 2. 2 times 8x squared. Are you being silly? And then 2 times negative 64. What is that? 2 times that is 8. And 128. Okay. Plus 16 times x squared is 16x squared. And 16 times 8 is positive. Oh, stop writing on stuff. Just drawing on everything. 8. Carry the 4. 128. Sorry, I was getting distracted because she's putting marker on everything. Do not put marker on anything, please. Now you could pretend with the lid on. Okay. So I'm going to put like things by each other. Kids are great. So 8 Rx to the 3rd. I'm putting them in descending order. Plus 16x squared. Plus 16x squared. Minus 64 Rx. Minus 128 plus 128.
Mommy!
You can't do that. You were writing all over everything. So combining my like terms, I have 8 Rx to the 3rd plus 32x squared minus 64 Rx, and negative 128 plus 128, they cancel out. I have to somehow make this look like this. So notice that all of my signs associated with R changes. So this changes to a negative, and so does this one. And they both are associated with R. If it changes, your R has to be negative. Okay. All you have to think about, okay, what turns 8? What do I multiply by 8 to get it to be negative 32? And that's negative 4. Check your math. What times negative 64 equals positive 256? And that's negative 4. So there's your answer. Last but not least is this problem. The E is a variable, it doesn't mean example. So you got to distribute the E, FOIL over here. Got to make this mess look like this mess. So you have EX times 4x to the 3rd, which is 4EX to the 4th. EX times 8x squared is 8EX3. And EX times negative 12 is negative 12. Oops, done with that. Minus, FOIL this. X squared is x4. X squared times 6 is 6x squared. She's making a mess. 5 times x squared is 5x squared. And 5 times 6 is 30. This next step, I'm just combining like terms here. So So you have x to the 4th. 6x squared plus 5x squared is 11x squared. Plus 30, bring it down. You're changing your signs. This becomes negative, negative, negative. Okay. So I'm putting them in order. 4e x to the 4th minus x to the 4th.
Clean up.
8
Your paper's all over the floor.
e x to the 3rd. Another x to the 3rd. Negative 11x to the 2nd. Minus 12ex minus 30. This mess needs to turn into 35x to the 4th plus 72x to the 3rd minus 11x to the 2nd minus 108x minus 30. Alright, so these are exactly the same. So I have to do something here. Turn those into this. This needs to turn into this. And this needs to turn into this. So all of these have the same signs. Positive, positive, positive. So my E is going to be positive. It's easier to figure out what your missing variable is with the ones with it, like the ones with the E that only have one line going to the next. So I'm either looking at what do I have to multiply 8 by to get 72, or what do I need to multiply negative 12 by to get negative 108? So 8 times 9 is 72. So that's what he is. Negative 12 times 9 is negative 108. E equals 9. If I substitute a 9 here, 4 times 9, 36. 36 minus 1, 35. That's what E. Alrighty. That is how to figure out what the missing variable is.